Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon or Rising. And Aquarius, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for the week of March 9th to 15th. This week we have the Awakening Oracle card. We have the beautiful, full energy King of Cups, the amazing Sun, the Nine of Swords, Temperance and Queen of Swords. So, this is absolutely an awakening, Aquarius. The Fool and the Sun together is a total direction shift. Really waking up to your rebel heart, going in a new direction after, a darker time. We have you really rebalancing, being able to see the big picture. This is a really, really powerful reading. I absolutely love this energy for you. Obviously, we have three major arcana, which are, really linked to the big themes, the soul lessons, the karmic contracts, and that kind of thing. So some of you might be completing a karmic contract, something that has caused you a certain amount of grief, but my goodness, the future looks bright. All right, so let's start off with the Oracle card, and then we'll unpack the tarot. So awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You're going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find you're experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it and stay grounded. Share your experiences with like soul people while you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering your soul and your gifts are emerging. Yeah, the Sun is also, it's a real card of spiritual awakening. So I think some of you might be, going through an energetic upgrade, or, I know some people don't believe in spiritual awakening, so you could just see it as some kind of big growth phase where you're really able to reflect and make sense of some things in your life, or, that hindsight, connecting the dots, having a sure sense of, the direction ahead, that kind of energy. But some of you might be feeling that touch of the divine, knowing that you're in the right place in your life at this moment, and really riding with the flow of synchronicities as well. But usually awakenings and upgrades don't just come along without, some life experience. Often difficult times is what actually leads us to a sense of awakening, shifts our energy. Sometimes it can be trauma. For others it can be breaking up with a soulmate. That deep stress period that you went through with work that really shook your foundation, or meant that you had to maybe give up that career. All these things that really lead us on a path to where we're truly meant to be. But at the time, it can be very, very stressful for us. So in the Nine of Swords here, we see someone who's deeply worried and anxious, maybe can't make sense of life how it is at the moment, maybe can't connect the dots, doesn't have that hindsight, feels like everything's stacked up against them, maybe jumps into bed at night, and that's when all the thoughts come out, and there's insomnia, and it's levels to this card, guys. It can even be depression, but this is in the past position, and all the cards, coming forward from this are so positive. But I really feel that some of you have come out of a difficult time, a difficult journey, and now we're seeing that shift coming up. That there has been some kind of waking up or ascending through this process. So, whenever we go through a dark night of the soul, even though it's so hard to see out of it when we're in it, we usually end up in a far better place for us in time. But obviously it's really difficult to know that and to see that when we're in it. But this is the point where it's all shifting for you, and you're going to end up somewhere far greater. So I feel, some of you might be still going through this process at the moment, but a lot of you are going through that sense of recalibration and healing, regenerating and restoring after coming out of that time. Yeah, I'm going to pair that with the King of Cups here as well. So, obviously healing is often needed when we go through some kind of trauma or darker time in a way. But temperance, is an energy. This angel is shifting the water of life, that emotional turmoil, between these two cups, doing the spiritual alchemy in order to bring things back into balance again. And even that can bring about that sense of awakening. We have the element of the divine here. This is about restabilizing yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. That's why the angel wears that equilateral triangle. It's a stable structure. You can push on any one of those sides and it's not coming down. This is you becoming stable again, unshakable, especially unshakable emotionally, because that King of Cups can sit on that deep, watery ocean of life. And even when things get, choppy, when you're faced with difficult emotions, the King of Cups is somebody who can sit grounded on that concrete slab, compassionate, being able to hold himself, contain his emotions and all of those things. So definitely you're getting back into a sense of self-control, emotional control, healing, recalibrating, and getting ready for that sun to rise. So we see that by doing this process of internal alchemy, that sun energy is starting to be drawn to you and it is rising on that horizon in order to reveal the path forward. It's perfect. This is you can't make this up, guys. This is a perfect little story that's playing out here. We do see you, going through that process while you're grounded, while you're still connected to the earthly realm. So I feel that even though you might have been shaken, you're still able to go about your daily business and be in the material world as you go through this shift. And then coming up, Aquarius, you're coming back into your power for absolute sure. The Queen of Swords in this reading represents your energy. The Queen of Swords is somebody who has great vision and clarity. So really the opposite from this Nine of Swords energy where you're in the thick of it. You're weighed down and you can't get that perspective. You're encloaked in the darkness in the Nine of Swords energy. Now the Queen of Swords is, engulfed in the light. She sits on the top of that cliff. And from that viewpoint, she can see a full 360-degree viewpoint, an eagle-eye view. So she can really, using that big picture vision, she can really make good strategic decisions on how to move forward in her life. She is also a symbol of transformation, the awakening that we see here, reclaiming your sword of victory and power, and getting ready to move forward. That's the Queen of Swords for me. You back in your power. And then the rebirth, the sun and the Fool. Bang, this is you just fully in the light, in the element reborn, awakened. The Fool is, that strongest new beginning energy in the tarot deck. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith in a new direction, even though you might not know, what that destination is. It's about trusting the path forward, trusting in the journey, making instinctual decisions to move forward in a new direction. It's about, leaving the past behind and just carrying on with the essential belongings, no baggage. The Fool carries the flower of alchemy as that nod to the fact that you are being, awakened and, you're carrying forth in an aligned sense, because the Fool is also about reconnecting with your rebel heart. So reconnecting with your higher self, your true sense, and not riding on anyone else's coattails now, thinking about what you truly want. And the Sun energy, guys, the most positive card in the tarot deck. This is, a card of divine blessings. It says that everything is, bright, moving forward after a time of darkness. This is a card of rebirth, awakening, and it's also a yes card. So if you're really wondering whether to take this leap of faith to start on a new journey, to open a new door or a chapter, to pursue a new opportunity, the universe is saying yes, this is the time to do that, and it will be greatly rewarding for you. And I know that baby looks innocent on that horse, but this baby here has been reborn after, breaking through barriers, brick walls, darker times. But it's the symbol of the phoenix rising, of that reborn soul. And, really, you can create anything from this place, Aquarius. These sunflowers are the nod to manifestation and growth, new growth in a totally new direction. So this is like a complete power combination here. You know, things are looking extremely rosy and extremely positive for you moving forward. Aquarius, I'm not sure if there's much more to say. You're being reborn, awakened, you are rising up after a difficult time. Take that leap of faith, trust in that journey. Divine energy is on your side this week. I hope you enjoyed the reading, Aquarius, and do keep in mind it's a general reading. I'm not saying everyone will be in this position this week. Feel free to leave me a comment because I always love to know how it's unfolding in your daily life, and I'll see you back here next week for another reading.